Chapter 34, The Whispering Woods. As Tobian and Nivara journeyed deeper into the heart of the desert, they eventually reached the edge of an ancient, enchanted forest. The Whispering Woods stood before them, a stark contrast to the barren sands they had traversed. The air here was cool and filled with the soft rustling of leaves, as if the trees themselves were speaking in hushed tones. The forest was dense, with towering trees that seemed to touch the sky, their branches entwined like a protective canopy. Nivara could feel the magic of the forest calling to her, a gentle, soothing energy that was both welcoming and mysterious. The forest was alive with ancient magic, different from the harsh and unforgiving desert they had just left behind. It was a place of life and growth, but also of secrets and shadows. Closing her eyes, Nivara allowed herself to become one with the forest's magic. She could feel her form beginning to change, the magic of the woods guiding her transformation. Her hair darkened to a deep, rich green, like the leaves of the trees, and her eyes became a soft, a luminous shade of emerald. Her skin took on a pale, almost ethereal glow, like moonlight filtering through the trees, and her gown shifted into a dress of delicate leaves and vines, adorned with tiny flowers that seemed to bloom with each step she took. Tobian watched in awe as Nivara completed her transformation, her new form blending seamlessly with the forest around her. "You've become the spirit of the woods," he said, his voice filled with wonder. "The forest has claimed you as its own." Nivara smiled, her voice now a soft whisper, like the rustling of leaves in the wind. "The forest is a place of life and mystery, Tobian. It holds countless secrets, hidden in the shadows of its trees and the depths of its glades. But it also welcomes those who respect its magic and listen to its whispers." As they ventured into the forest, the light of the desert sun faded, replaced by the soft, dappled light of the woods. The trees towered above them, their leaves creating a canopy that filtered the sunlight into a gentle, greenish glow. The air was cool and fragrant, filled with the scent of earth and growing things. The forest was alive with sounds, the chirping of birds, the rustle of leaves, and the occasional snap of a twig underfoot. But there was also a deeper sound, a low, melodic hum that seemed to resonate from the very heart of the woods. It was a sound that spoke of ancient magic, of secrets long hidden and of the forest's connection to the land. As they walked deeper into the woods, they began to notice strange markings on the trees, symbols carved into the bark, glowing faintly with a soft, green light. The symbols were ancient, their meaning lost to time, but Tobian could sense that they were part of a larger puzzle, one that they would need to solve to continue their journey. "The forest is testing us," Tobian said, studying the symbols closely. "These markings are a clue, a riddle that we must solve if we are to find our way through the woods." Nivara knelt beside one of the trees, her fingers gently tracing the symbols carved into its bark. As she did, the symbols glowed brighter, and she could feel the magic within them. "The forest speaks in its own language, Tobian," she said. "We must listen to its whispers, understand its signs, and follow the path it reveals." Together, they worked to decipher the symbols, combining Tobian's knowledge of ancient runes with Nivara's connection to the forest's magic. The symbols on the trees began to form a pattern, guiding them deeper into the woods, toward a hidden glade that lay at the heart of the forest. The glade was a place of breathtaking beauty, a hidden sanctuary surrounded by towering trees and filled with the soft light of the moon. The air was cool and still, and the ground was covered in a carpet of soft, green moss. In the center of the glade was a large, ancient stone, similar to the one they had found in the desert, but this one was covered in intricate carvings that glowed with a soft, green light. "This stone is the heart of the forest's magic," Nivara said, her voice filled with reverence. It's connected to the life of the woods, to the cycles of growth and decay, and to the ancient spirits that dwell here. We must unlock its secrets if we are to continue our journey. Tobian nodded, his mind already racing to understand the patterns carved into the stone. This is another trial, he said. A test of our ability to read the signs of the forest, to understand its magic, and to use it wisely. As they approached the stone, the air around them seemed to pulse with energy. The carvings on the stone began to shift and change, forming new symbols and shapes that hinted at the secrets hidden within the woods. Nivara placed her hands on the stone, feeling the pulse of the forest's magic flow through her. The symbols responded to her touch, glowing brighter as they revealed the next step in their journey. "The forest has shown us the way," Nivara said, her voice steady. "But the path ahead is filled with challenges. We must be ready to face whatever lies beyond, for the woods guard their secrets well." With the glade as their guide, Tobian and Nivara prepared to continue their journey through the Whispering Woods, where new adventures awaited. The trials they had faced so far had only strengthened their bond, and they knew that together, they could overcome any challenge. As they left the glade, the stone's light faded, and the forest returned to its quiet, whispering state. But Nivara's form, now attuned to the magic of the woods, continued to glow softly in the moonlight, a beacon of hope and strength in the vast, enchanted forest. Their journey through the Whispering Woods was just beginning, and with each step, they drew closer to uncovering the hidden temple secrets and the ancient magic that lay within. Chapter 35, The Echoing Caves. The Whispering Woods began to thin out as Tobian and Nivara ventured deeper into the unknown. The towering trees gave way to rocky hills and craggy terrain, their path leading them to the mouth of a vast cave system. The entrance was framed by ancient stone pillars, their surfaces worn smooth by the passage of time, yet still marked with the same mysterious runes they had encountered in the forest. As they stood at the cave's entrance, a low hum echoed from within, a haunting melody that seemed to beckon them forward. The air was cool and damp, carrying with it the scent of earth and stone, a stark contrast to the living magic of the forest they had just left behind. Nivara closed her eyes, feeling the change in the air, the shift in magic as they crossed the threshold from the living forest into the cold, unyielding stone. She knew it was time for another transformation. The magic of the cave system was ancient, raw, and untouched by the hands of time. It was a place where the earth spoke in echoes and shadows, where secrets were hidden deep within the rock. When Nivara opened her eyes, her appearance began to change once more. Her green hair darkened to the deep, midnight black of the cave's shadows, streaked with glimmers of silver, like veins of precious metal hidden within the stone. Her emerald eyes took on a darker hue, resembling the mysterious depths of the earth. Her skin, once pale and glowing, now had the sheen of polished obsidian, smooth and cool to the touch. Her gown transformed into a cloak of dark, shimmering fabric that blended seamlessly with the shadows around her, adorned with gemstones that sparkled like the stars in the night sky. Tobian watched as Nivara completed her transformation, marveling at how she had become the embodiment of the cave's magic. "You've become the spirit of the earth itself," he said, his voice reverent. "A guide through the darkness, where light is scarce but precious." Nivara smiled, her new form perfectly suited to the challenges that lay ahead. "The caves are a place of echoes and hidden truths, Tobian. They are ancient, untouched by time, and filled with secrets waiting to be discovered." Together, they ventured into the echoing caves, the melody that had lured them in growing louder and more complex as they delved deeper into the earth. The cave walls were lined with crystals that glowed faintly, casting eerie reflections and refracting light in strange patterns. The sound of dripping water echoed through the tunnels, creating a rhythm that seemed to pulse in time with their footsteps. As they journeyed deeper into the cave system, they encountered labyrinthine passages and twisting tunnels, each one leading them further into the heart of the earth. The echoes grew louder, more insistent, as if urging them onward. Eventually, they came to a vast chamber, the walls lined with enormous crystals that glowed with a pale, ghostly light. In the center of the chamber stood a massive stone altar, carved with the same runes they had seen throughout their journey. The air was thick with magic, the ancient energy of the earth pulsing through the stones. "This is the heart of the caves," Tobian said, his voice echoing softly in the cavernous space. "The source of the echoes we've been following." Nivara approached the altar, her new form resonating with the magic of the earth. As she touched the stone, the runes began to glow brighter, and the echoes grew louder, filling the chamber with their haunting melody. "The earth speaks in echoes and vibrations," Nivara said, her voice steady. "It is a language of patience and endurance, of time itself. The caves hold the memories of the earth, the stories of its creation and the secrets it has kept hidden for millennia." Tobian joined her at the altar, studying the runes closely. "We must unlock the earth's memories," he said. "The echoes are guiding us, showing us the way forward." As they worked together, deciphering the ancient runes and attuning themselves to the echoes, the chamber began to shift and change around them. The crystals glowed brighter, casting strange and beautiful patterns of light and shadow. The echoes merged into a single, harmonious melody, a song of the earth that filled the chamber with its power. Suddenly, the stone altar split open, revealing a hidden chamber beneath. Inside, they found a glowing crystal, larger and more radiant than any they had seen before. It pulsed with a deep, resonant energy, the very heart of the earth's magic. "This crystal holds the earth's secrets," Nivara said, her voice filled with awe. "It is a key to the ancient magic that lies deep within the earth, a power that has been hidden for ages." Tobian carefully removed the crystal from its resting place, feeling its weight and the power it contained. "This crystal is the next step in our journey," he said. "With it, we can unlock the secrets of the earth and continue our quest to uncover the hidden temple." With the crystal in hand, Tobian and Nivara prepared to leave the echoing caves. The echoes faded as they retraced their steps, the cave's magic returning to its quiet, patient slumber. Nivara's form still shimmered with the power of the earth, a reminder of the ancient magic they had encountered in the depths. Their journey was far from over, but with each step, they grew closer to their ultimate goal. The hidden temple awaited, and with it, the final secrets of the ancient magic they had been seeking. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, their bond stronger than ever as they ventured into the unknown. Chapter 36, The Shifting Sands. Having emerged from the echoing caves, Tobian and Nivara found themselves standing on the edge of a vast desert, its golden dunes stretching as far as the eye could see. The air was dry and hot, a stark contrast to the cool, dark caverns they had just left behind. The sun blazed overhead, casting sharp shadows across the landscape. Nivara closed her eyes, feeling the change in the environment, the heat of the sun, and the endless expanse of sand. The desert held a different kind of magic, one that was ancient and wild, born of the shifting sands and the relentless winds. She knew it was time for another transformation. As Tobian watched, Nivara's appearance began to change once more. Her midnight black hair lightened, becoming the color of the golden sand, streaked with hues of amber and copper that shimmered in the sunlight. Her dark eyes turned a deep, warm brown, like the rich earth beneath the desert surface. Her obsidian skin took on a sun-kissed glow, and her cloak transformed into flowing, gauzy robes that billowed in the desert breeze, adorned with delicate patterns that resembled the swirling dunes. Tiny grains of sand sparkled like precious gems woven into the fabric, catching the light with every movement. "You've become the spirit of the desert," Tobian said, his voice filled with admiration. "A guide through the ever-changing sands, where the landscape is as unpredictable as the wind." Nivara smiled, her new form perfectly attuned to the desert's magic. "The desert is a place of mystery and resilience, Tobian. It is a land where time flows differently, and where the sands hide secrets buried deep beneath the surface." Together, they began their journey across the desert, the shifting sands making each step a challenge. The sun blazed down, but Nivara's presence seemed to cool the air around them, providing relief from the relentless heat. As they walked, the dunes shifted and changed, as if the desert itself were alive, guiding them toward their next destination. After hours of walking, they came upon a series of ancient ruins, half buried in the sand. The stone structures were weathered and worn, their surfaces etched with symbols and carvings that spoke of a long-lost civilization. In the center of the ruins stood a tall, slender tower, its top broken off, yet still reaching high into the sky. The wind howled through the gaps in the stone, creating a haunting melody that echoed across the desert. "This place is ancient," Tobian said, studying the carvings on the stones. "These ruins have been here for centuries, perhaps even longer. The people who built them must have known the secrets of the desert." Nivara ran her fingers along the carvings, feeling the remnants of the magic that still lingered in the stone. "The desert holds many secrets, Tobian. It is a place where the past and present collide, where time is not a straight line, but a circle. These ruins may hold the key to understanding the magic of the desert." As they explored the ruins, they discovered a hidden chamber beneath the tower, accessible only by a narrow, winding staircase that descended deep into the earth. The chamber was filled with ancient artifacts, including a large, intricately carved stone tablet that dominated the center of the room. The tablet was covered in symbols, similar to those they had seen in the echoing caves, but with subtle differences that suggested a different, yet related, form of magic. "This tablet is a map," Tobian said, tracing the symbols with his fingers. "A map to something buried deep within the desert sands." Nivara studied the tablet, her eyes glowing with understanding. "It is a map to the heart of the desert, Tobian. A place where the magic of the desert is strongest, where the sands themselves hold the power to shape reality." With the tablet as their guide, Tobian and Nivara set out across the desert once more, following the ancient path marked by the symbols. The journey was long and arduous, the sands shifting constantly, as if trying to obscure the path. But Nivara's connection to the desert's magic guided them forward, her presence calming the restless sands and revealing the way. After days of travel, they finally arrived at their destination, a hidden oasis, nestled deep within the heart of the desert. The oasis was a place of breathtaking beauty, with crystal-clear water, lush greenery, and vibrant flowers that seemed out of place in the harsh desert landscape. At the center of the oasis stood a tall, slender spire of stone, its surface covered in the same ancient symbols they had seen on the tablet. "This is the heart of the desert," Nivara said, her voice filled with awe. "A place where the magic of the sands is concentrated, where the desert's power is at its strongest." Tobian approached the spire, feeling the raw energy that radiated from the stone. "This is what we've been searching for," he said. "The key to unlocking the ancient magic of the desert, and perhaps the next piece of the puzzle in our quest to find the hidden temple." Nivara nodded, her eyes glowing with the power of the desert. "The sands have led us here for a reason, Tobian. We are meant to unlock the magic of the desert, to understand its secrets, and to continue our journey toward the temple. As they worked together to unlock the spire's secrets, the oasis around them seemed to come alive, the water sparkling with magic and the plants swaying in a rhythm that echoed the heartbeat of the desert itself. The spire began to glow, its symbols lighting up one by one as Tobian and Nivara deciphered the ancient code. Finally, the spire released a burst of energy, and at its base, a hidden compartment opened, revealing a small, intricately carved artifact. It was a desert rose made of crystal, its delicate petals shimmering with the colors of the sunset. "This is the desert's gift to us," Nivara said, carefully taking the rose in her hands. "A symbol of the desert's power, and a key to unlocking the next stage of our journey." With the desert rose in their possession, Tobian and Nivara prepared to leave the oasis. The desert's magic had revealed its secrets to them, and they knew their journey was far from over. The hidden temple awaited, and with it, the final pieces of the ancient magic they had been seeking. Together, they stepped back into the desert, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, their bond stronger than ever as they continued their quest across the ever-shifting sands.